Hey there. Welcome back to the Surge.
Shouldn't you be at your designated work site?
Joe's still out there? I can't change what happened. It's not right. It's just not right.
Take care, Hobbs.
Easy for you to say. Nobody's after your head.
You'll be fine.
They're not dead. The body electric sings through the system.
Davey, on the other hand, might be a little bit too far gone.
Error. Communication device connection lost.
Good. Things are getting a little bit out of hand here at Creo. We've got an impending end-of-the-world scenario, so let's just make sure we are appropriately prepared to go to the nucleus before we actually head there and finish this. Today we're going to be making one last round, visiting all the places we've been so far, because now that we've got our security suit, all doors are open. Or at least openable. Since, you know, we are among the exclusive club for cool people who can open security doors now. And also some things around the game world have changed since we left for the executive forum. Not much, but there's some stuff that can be pretty substantial and have some pretty interesting implications on the lore and story and all that stuff. Like this ominous and foreboding graffiti, which I think appears after you return from R&D, I think? Either way, really wish this guy would have died in a place where Warren would have seen it, because I don't think he would have been so trusting over there in the executive forum. It does make me wonder if Warren and Mallory were the only stooges that Sally managed to fool with her "hey, there's rescue waiting for us" ruse. And you know, I was a bit harsh to Sally. I guess I don't blame her, especially with the speculation that Sally may have been the one that caused the surge. But then again, it was a bit of a pointless gesture, now that we know that Project Utopia is going to launch no matter what. And she didn't seem to express any remorse either. So to be honest, still not really a fan of her after all is said and done.
I'm going to die here. I have had time to sit and think about it over the last couple of days. I wish this was to someone. It's true. You start to think in the dark, listening to noises out there. But it is too late now. So, this is my epitaph. As sad as my life was in retrospect. No relationship. No family. In the end, it all comes down to this. Nothing. There is no point hiding anymore. From any of it.
Yeesh. Harsh words, buddy. But we're not going to give up yet. We just need a little bit more time.
Next stop, abandoned production. Rocket assembly 3.
And a little bit more preparation. And then we'll be ready. Decked out in the bloody Proteus set with the MG Judge, the Black Cerberus's weapon. These guys back here in abandoned production may as well be they may as well be rusty robot toys at this point, because they're very fragile. Coming back to these early areas is really it's really interesting. I like that they encourage you to come back here just so that you can really see how far you've come. Like, remember when we were using like busted, rusty power tools to fight for our life? Feels like it was just yesterday. And hey, before we get to the security door in this area, there's a drone module door. I don't think I even called attention to this on our first time through here. I think I might have even forgot it was here. But our reward for popping this one open is a odd preview of New Game Plus. New Game Plus adds these patchwork zombie enemies that are basically the same as the normal enemies, but way more aggressive and wearing randomized equipment. And some lore!
Warning. High magnitude power disruption detected. Unspecified damage to data systems detected. Failsafe protocol triggered. Facility-wide failsafe consoles recording as of Mark 0 hours, 0 minutes, minus 19 seconds. In the event of full system failure, local data must be manually recovered from each failsafe console to reconstruct the full timeline of events. Creo reminds you to observe all safety and value preservation guidelines. For more information, refer to your...
So that log is pretty interesting. I'm not sure what it's meant to imply, but it's really an interesting detail to know that the CreoNet server was able to tell that the surge was about to happen before it even did. So whatever initiated the surge, be it Sally or the nanobots or just a communications error, the system was able to tell before it even happened. And behind our first security door is just a vital boost implant. It's a useful one. It's a Mark V one, so it gives you quite a hefty boost, but I suppose the real reward for coming back here is the drone module door. It's pretty cool. I really like that they encourage you to come back here. They reward you for remembering that this stuff is here. And plus, it's a nice trip down memory lane. So the first time we went through here, we were unable to go this way, because we didn't have any way to avoid getting damaged by the poop goop. But now we have the liquidator legs, so we can go exploring a little bit. And there's not much here. It's just a single flooded tunnel type thing with some enemies, but at the end of the tunnel is a unique weapon, which I think I might have mentioned. I don't remember at this point. It was quite a while ago. It's the Volatile Spectre, which is a purely elemental damage version of our first single-rigged weapon we ever picked up. It's pretty good if you're going full elemental damage. I like it. And back in Central Production B, we've got another security door here, which has more lore behind it. Lore is the name of the game in this episode. It's also got a vending machine, so I guess this was a break room of some kind.
Failsafe protocol active. Log mark 97 hours, 17 minutes, 4 seconds. Data sector damage analysis. 41% of logic engines unrecoverable. Damaged data sectors repaired with applicable Creo security anti-incursion loop. Rocket manifold assembly restored. Production queue partially recovered. Systems maintenance personnel with tertiary senior authorization or above required for manual uploading of...
So I suppose that log is meant to explain-ish the reason why people like Irina started to turn over to the side of Creo's security and flock to the executive forum. I feel bad for people like Irina, ending up getting brainwashed because of automated security protocols. It's not fair. It's really just not fair. And hey, great. The rocket manifold stuff is still working, meaning something has access to the rocket engines. And maybe here in R&D we'll get a little bit more information about that. We're going to stop into Joe's little hideout because, again, some things have changed. There are a couple of ways that Joe's side quest can end, and we got, I suppose, the best ending. We've been marked a traitor for stealing the equalizer after supposing we should help her. Other endings include Joe committing suicide, Joe disappearing after successfully killing Hobbs with the equalizer, and the aforementioned sunglasses.
Authorization acknowledged.
What is this? That's not normal. Oh, that's really not normal. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So, these are chrysalis nanobots. They're humans, I think, that have been completely taken over by the Project Utopia nanobots? Okay, I guess I'll beat them up. Sure. The best way to fight these things is by using the dodge punch and the rising knee to stumble them out of their spin moves, but can we just talk about this for a minute? This is what the nanobots do to people. It turns them into this, with metamorphing talons. What is this? What is going on here? What a nightmare.
Failsafe protocol active. Log mark 20 hours, 51 minutes, 40 seconds. Project Utopia data sector damage analysis ongoing. Extrapolated result estimated at sub 20% total loss. Research and development personnel count has declined to 5% of minimum operational status due to a combination of physical altercations between employees and terminal failure of cortical implants. Job postings and incident reports have been logged in a local HR addendum buffer. To access further logs, enter...
So, do you remember when I speculated that Warren was hired after the surge had already happened? That log is why I think that.
Log 17. Is it intelligent? The system was never meant to develop. It was only protocols meant to fulfill a purpose. As a species, we've always been arrogant and demanding. There are no gods, but we made God made us in his image. We made him in ours. And now we made this. Perfect. Aggressive. What world have we seen our own fate? It doesn't matter. Devils. None of it matters.
I wouldn't give up hope of controlling these things just yet. They are pretty vulnerable to being smacked with a giant axe.
Everything's speeding up. The changes and transformations are much faster now. What used to take days now happens within hours. What took hours? Minutes. I saw those creatures. Undefined masses. Stirring and swirling. A manifestation of the new entity that is Utopia. An individual. A single creature, and still part of the swarm. It was born from the nanites that are its cells. An organism still caught in transition, and the search for itself. It won't last much longer now. Still nowhere close to a solution. I wish I had more time. More time to watch and wonder. More time to live.
Boy, ain't science grand?
Warning. Lobby exhibits unlocked.
Our reward for coming down here and poking around a little bit is unlocking the show floor so that we can access the display cases. But before we head there and pick up our rewards, it looks like Dr. Barrett's been busy. And you know, I'm in a pretty bad mood today. So let's extract some revenge, shall we? Because boy, he sure didn't make things any better. And now that he has, I suppose, decided that time has run out on Project Utopia, or maybe he thought for some reason that his work was finished, he's become part of the robot army. And speaking of army, he's wielding a unique weapon. So we're going to cut off one of his armies and we're gonna take it for ourselves. See you later, Dr. Barrett. You were a dick. Oh, right. Okay, now see you later, Dr. Barrett. I hope it was all worth it. And then there's just an audio log here I forgot.
Mark Dean, perfect candidate for the program. We pulled him off the streets and put him to work in recycling a couple of weeks back. He's a complete zero. We even DNA typed him to outside databases. No living relatives. He's so happy to have a place to sleep and 3 square meals a day, he'll happily sign the consent forms.
Yikes.
Project resolved. Evolve. All process.
Back on the show floor, we can pick up our final staff weapon,
Payload distribution.
codenamed Carmina.
Composition, even down to the recycling of material.
And over at Creo World, we can pick up our final single-handed sword weapon behind this little display in a sneaky little drone module area. It's my favorite sword in the game, the HSS Overloader. It's very useful. But we're not done yet. Before we get back to the executive forum, we're gonna see what's behind door number 5 million here in the biolabs. And I actually don't really know what the point of this area is. I couldn't find any like failsafe protocol logs or anything back here, any examinable objects or anything. It's just an area that's full of Creo security, which is interesting in itself. I suppose this area implies that Creo security was watching the Resolve biolabs for some reason, maybe to make sure that things were still going smoothly or conducting their investigation to see if Dr. Chavez was still running. Obviously, they didn't do such a good job of it. So we've learned quite a bit from the logs in this episode. Now that we're getting a little bit more time to talk. Unfortunately, I ran through this stuff kind of fast and didn't leave much room for editing and stuff because, I gotta tell you, I am a master of pacing and timing, if anything. It seems that the Project Utopia rockets can be directly accessed by whatever has invaded the system. And unfortunately, it seems that whatever invaded the system entails these weird nanobot things that the good doctor has been doing experimentations on in R&D. Whoever that doctor guy was, his obsession with the nanobots replicating seems to have been warranted, because not only are they replicating, they're replicating throughout CreoNet. And if they have access to the rockets now, yeah, that's not a good thing. That's really, really not a good thing. So, I suppose, now we have our antagonist. Nanobots. I feel like the nanobots are probably too small to punch, so, we're gonna have to figure out a slightly smarter solution.
Access granted.
The security area in the biolabs is kind of interesting, because it connects the entire area, the laboratories, the open area, and the very beginning, with a series of tunnels. Over here is one of our final comic books, but we don't really have time to pick that up because we're currently being accosted. How rude. What have we here? Live and sniff indeed. Live and sniff indeed. And hey, here's the virus. It changes its description after you reach the executive forum and find out the board is dead. So that's kind of cool. Let's go talk to Dr. Chavez about it. See if she's got anything interesting to say. Because now that we know that it is in fact a virus, maybe she'll have some advice on how to upload it.
Hello.
Hey, Doc. I got good news and bad news. Mostly bad news.
Well, well. Look who's back. I've told you everything that matters. Bonham and Fox. On the executive floors, they're waiting for this program. But if you've got something better to do than saving mankind, by all means.
Yeah, about that.
The board is gone. They're all dead.
What? Oh God. Bonham. Fox. They were the only ones who ever listened. They were my friends. We have to do something. It's launching, isn't it? Utopia is launching. Maybe Charlene's already left for the nucleus. Find her. Give her the data. It'll alter the nanites' protocols. Disrupt them from the inside. Go. Go! It's our only chance.
You got it. Time is of the essence, it seems. No more dilly-dallying. We're here, wearing the official Creo security uniform, jumpsuit and all. We're gonna take the overloader, and we're gonna pick up our final comic book and head to the nucleus. Although this one gets a little bit meta. A criminal masterpiece. Yeah. I guess that's what you could say it is. I wish I had a printout of this one. Getting one of these Iron Mouse comic books on a poster would be pretty interesting. There's one more comic book for us to pick up, but it's in the nucleus. So, why don't we stop putzing around and go save the world? I kind of fancy being a hero, to be honest. Being a hero sounds pretty cool, and now that we know our new adversary is just a bunch of nanobots that take over people and turn them into crystal gribblies, I feel like we're appropriately prepared. So, I'll see you next time, when we finally reach Ground Zero.